Welcome to the Wellness Way, Sarasota. My name is Dr. Connor, and I just want to go through the Fireman and Carpenter principle so we can get a better understanding of the difference between what we do in our office versus the medical system. They're two totally separate things designed to be used at completely different times, and it's important to understand when it's appropriate to use the medical system versus when it's okay to come in and use our type of a system, right? In order to do that, I'm going to explain our Fireman and Carpenter principle, and we're going to start with an analogy. So what I want you to think of is you come home from dinner, you pull into your driveway, you look at your house and it's on fire, right? It's everybody's worst nightmare. No one wants to come home from a nice dinner and see their house on fire. But if you do, what's the first thing that's going to happen? Most of us are going to pick up our phone and we're going to dial 911, right? Because the reason for that is we want the fireman to come out who can handle the situation. So the fire truck's going to show up. You're going to have two guys that are going to jump out of the truck. The first guy's going to run up to your door with an axe and he's going to chop that front door down. Second guy's going to run in right behind him with a fire hose and he's going to start spraying everything. So he's spraying water all over your carpet, your couch, your walls, your pictures. And is the water good for any of those things? No, right? It's not good for your couch or your carpet to get water all over it, but in this moment, do we care about any of that? No, right? The only thing that we care about is that that fire gets put out. So luckily the firemen, they get there in time, they're able to put the fire out, they can save some of your house. They're standing there, they're looking at your house that looks like this, and they're patting themselves in the back saying, what a good job I did. And you're thankful because they put the fire out. So you walk up to them, you say, hey, Mr. Fireman, can I go inside? Can I grab a couple things? And unfortunately, they're going to tell you no, right? Because your house is toxic, it's hazardous. You could get hurt or injured if you go inside that house. So you're going to get back in your car, you're going to drive to a friend's house, to a hotel, you're going to stay the night and come back the next morning. The next morning we show up to our house, it still looks like this. Who are we going to call now? Well, we can't call the fireman, so we're going to call the carpenter, right? And the reason for that is because this type of a professional has the tools and the experience to be able to go in and rebuild your house. So the carpenter shows up, they're looking at the exact same thing the fireman looked at, and they're thinking, what a mess, right? They're going to have to completely gut everything and bring in all new drywall, carpet, floors, and rebuild everything from the ground up. And so the important distinction here is to understand that there's two equally trained professionals, both of them looking at the exact same house with their skill set and their tools. One of them thinking, what a great job I did. The house is not on fire anymore. The other one thinking, what a mess. I'm going to have to rebuild everything. And so if you think about this with our health, it's very similar. If you have a heart attack, a stroke, you need the medical approach because they can save your life. And the reason that we aren't dying at such a young age is because of the advancements we have with drugs and surgery, right? And so we're very thankful for that. But just like the fireman, there's a time and a place for that approach. Once we've established that you're no longer dying, once we've put the fire out, we need a different professional who can look at things a little bit differently to work on rebuilding and restoring your health, right? And so understanding that, the fireman, the medical system is that emergency system. Outside of that, they're just treating symptoms, not the cause. And to say that we just want to continue taking drugs and surgery for the rest of our life is like saying that we're going to stand outside of our house with a fire hose and spray it down every day just because it caught on fire before. Our approach, we don't like that very much. We want to understand what's going on in your house. What's that electrical look like? What's the water heater look like? Where may we have risks for fires, and what can we do about that now so the house doesn't catch on fire, so we don't just have to spray it down with water every single day. And so in order to rebuild your house, to live in it again, we have to rebuild, we have to call in the carpenter. And that's our approach. We're the carpenter doctors, right? So we're going to rebuild what the fires have destroyed. We're going to do the testing to identify what triggered the fire, and then not only that, but to identify where there may be future fires. Because our goal, again, is to rebuild, to restore your health. We're going to be looking for traumas, toxins, thoughts. What are those stressors that are causing your body to adapt and respond? How has it adapted and responded to those stressors? How is that affecting your life, your symptoms, what's going on? And then what can we do to not only remove those stressors, but then give your body what it needs to heal and repair? Because we believe in our office, everybody's body was designed to function normally. We were designed for health. And all we do is adapt and respond to our environment. And if we're putting our body in an environment, if we're doing things to our body that's causing it to adapt and respond in an unfavorable way, well, we need to figure out what those things are, how we can change those things, and how we can give our body what it needs to heal and repair.